Shalom. We want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai Ba'ashim Ba'kudash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, the great millstone camps, for teaching us the truth of the Bible. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect scattered around the world. Shalom. So I want to talk about how we have to teach the correct way. We have to teach the correct words of the Bible, because all across the world, there's a lot of so-called Christian churches, and they want to teach the Bible. And not everybody has the same teachings. Not everybody has the same beliefs. So let's start off in 1 Timothy 6 and 1.
1 Timothy 6 and 1. Let as many servants as are under the yoke count their own masters worthy of all honor, that the name of God and his doctrine be not blasphemed.
So it said, let as many servants as are under the yoke. So there's servants who are under the yoke. And when you look up that definition for yoke, Strong's 22:18, it's a metaphor used of any burden or bondage, like a yoke that they put on a cattle, like they put it around the neck. And then it says, as that of slavery. And then it says the Mosaic law. So who was under the yoke are the Israelites, because they're under the Mosaic law. They're under the burden, the burden of the law. We're the ones who are in slavery, because we got that yoke on our necks. And read it again.
1 Timothy 6 and 1. Let as many servants as are under the yoke count their own masters worthy of all honor, that the name of God and his doctrine be not blasphemed.
So, to be a servant of the Lord, you have to be an Israelite, because it said the servants under the yoke, and then count their own masters worthy of all honor. So we all have masters, we all have teachers, like for example, there's another Israelite group called IUIC, and they have a teacher, they have a master who's called Bishop Nate, and they give honor to their master according to his teachings, but we give honors to the apostles, the great millstone, because of the way they teach.
Because if it wasn't for them, we would have not known everything that we know back then. So just showing this, that's what I say, like showing respect. That's what I said, worthy of all honor.
Now read the next, read it again, Salaki.
1 Timothy 6 and 1. It says, let as many servants as are under the yoke count their own masters worthy of all honor, that the name of God and his doctrine be not blasphemed.
That the name of God. So God has a name. You can't call God, God. You can't say, God.
Or try to put more, or scream it. It's not going to make no difference.
Because God is a title. It's what he is. It's not who he is.
Remember when I told that to that Christian, that kid? He lost his fucking mind. What do you mean God is a title? What do you mean? He God? I was like, well, if he fucking let me explain. That guy, his head almost blew up when I said that.
Yeah.
And he was a Christian too.
Yeah, so God has a name. His name is Yahweh, and his son's name is Yahushai. But the IUIC camp is called Israel United in Christ.
And that's the name.
Now that's not the name of God,
But their name, I'm saying, like their name though.
It should be Israel United in Yahushai.
Well, they probably didn't like that. IUI, why? They're like, I don't probably like
probably
that.
Sounds too ghetto for them.
Yeah, or something. Yeah.
Now read it one more time.
1 Timothy 6 and 1. Let as many servants as are under the yoke count their own masters worthy of all honor, that the name of God and his doctrine be not blasphemed.
Yeah. So the name of God be not blasphemy, and it's said to teach the correct doctrine. What does it say about doctrine? Oh yeah. That the name of God and his doctrine be not blasphemed. So, definition for doctrine, it goes back to the word doctor. Because doctrine sounds like doctor. And doctor really means a church father. Church father is a doctor because he's the one that can heal you. You know? The priest is the one that can heal you. And then it says teacher. And then it says holder of the highest degree. Who got the highest degree? The apostles of the Great Millstone. You know, they're higher than anybody, any other camp.
Yeah, because if we say double honors to the apostles of the Great Millstone, and we go off on the doctrine, they're not, you know what I mean? They're gonna say something though. They're like, hey, you know, you want to be counted worthy for their teachings though. You're putting, you know, double honors. We're not teaching their teachings though. You know, they're gonna feel respect. You know, they're gonna feel some way about it for sure.
Yeah. So who's the real doctors? Who got the real doctrine? It's the apostles of Great Millstone. You know, the other camps, they got some truth too. You know, but they can't heal you all the way. You know. I read it again.
1 Timothy 6:1. Let as many servants as.
So like, read part 2. Verse 2.
1 Timothy 6:2. And that they have believing masters, let them not despise them, because they are brethren. This reminds me of Sakari though, by the way. But rather do them service, because they are faithful and beloved, and partakers of the benefit. These things teach and exhort.
Yes, it said believing masters. Believing masters. That's Bishop Nate, because he's a believing master.
Yeah.
He knows that the name Yahushai is the true name.
Yeah.
But instead he chooses to call on Christ. You know?
Bro, like 2 hours on the name Yahushua. He made a video. How come he hasn't spoken about that? So this guy, like, bro, like he has a lot of shit, man. Like what they say on finished bids, like dues to pay. Come on, man. He was a cop though in the early 2000s, and then it says IUIC established back in 2003. Oh man.
Read it again.
Verse 2. And they that have believing masters, let them not despise them, because they are brethren, but rather do them service, because they are faithful and beloved, and partakers of benefit. These things teach and exhort.
So just because you know the truth, you know, don't use that against the brethren, you know, because what you're doing is you're trying to throw that name out there, Christ, and we see it, you know, and we're trying to intercept it. We're trying to intercept that pass that you're throwing, and we're trying to tell the believers, hey, that's not the name that this guy's trying to teach, you know. So we're trying to make an interception.
Yeah, because it's all false, man. Bro, like Sakari, bro, he went on the Alizar, he went on the podcast called No Jumper. You know, he was just, me watching it for 15, 20 minutes, I'm like, this guy is that seed that came up, but got stuck in the thorns, though. Because he started talking about worldly stuff, man. Like of himself, of course. He had to talk about himself, but you could tell he was still, because he said he was in a Crip gang, and you know what I'm saying? He was like, yeah, 6 days out of the week I was banging, and then on Sundays I go out and teach though, you know? But you could tell he's so influenced in that gang shit still. He started talking about, well, he had a conversation with Monster Cody, and then look at her name, Sakari. So you could tell he's still influenced on that gang shit, man. It's like, bro, I know you ain't gangster, man. When you see, like, bro, you ain't talking about he got shot in the foot, and then he did 30 days in jail. My nigga, that's not gangster. I know people that actually been in jail and prison and all that shit, been shot up. bro, you trying to bring that gangster, that man, into the truth, bro. And he learned from Great Millstone too. And he didn't, when he brought up the video that he saw of how he got woken up though, he didn't even talk about Apostle Tahar that. He just said, yeah, I seen a video, I seen the devil horns on the Caesar Borgia. But he was like, okay, but who dropped that video? He didn't even mention Apostle Tahar.
You could read the next one.
Verse 3. If any man teach otherwise and consent not to hold some words, even the words of our Lord Yahweh Shai Mashiach, and to the doctrine which is according to guidelines. There you go.
So if any man teach otherwise, you know, otherwise than the words that Yahweh Shai told us, you know.
Because it says, and to the doctrine which is according to guidelines.
Yeah, so that's if you know, that's if you teach. This is going to happen. Yeah, keep going.
4.
This is who he is.
Verse 4. He is proud, knoweth nothing, but doubting about questions and strifes of words. Thereof cometh envy, strife, railings, evil, and surmisings.
Yeah, so actually you really don't know anything. You know, it's just like if you're going back into the world, you know, it's like you're going back into the world and you're going in reverse.
Yeah, you know? Especially you go back to calling Christ. That's what you learn at the Catholic and the Christian churches, though. So he's real proud too. He's real proud. You know, because it says, "Whereof cometh envy, strife, railings, evil, surmisings." Comes all that though.
And read the next one.
Verse 5. Perverse disputings of men of corrupt minds, and destitute of the truth, supposing that gain is godliness, from which withdraw thyself.
So you really don't understand. You don't understand the meaning of words. You know, you're perverse, which means you're reverse. You know?
Yeah, that's that too. It means wicked though.
You got it twisted. You know.
Yeah. Because it says, well, you know, that means wicked too. It says disputing of men of corrupt minds.
Yeah, you're corrupting the minds of the Israelites, you know?
Yeah.
And this will be the last verse.
Verse 6.
Yeah, verse 4.
Verse 4. Oh, that was verse 5. You want me to read it again?
Yeah. Verse 6.
1 Timothy 6:6. But guidelines with contentment is great gain.
But godliness, it said, but godliness with contentment is great gains. And contentment is being satisfied with the truth. You know, I ain't satisfied when I hear Jesus, you know, but when I hear Yahweh Shai, that makes me happy, that makes me satisfied, you know. So that's contentment. That's gonna make me gain. You know?
Yeah, because it's another someone else that knows the actual name, though. So that makes you happy. Like, hey, this guy. Oh, and I seen someone putting in a truck though. I believe he had the image of Yahweh Shai in the back, like a decal in the back of his window, his truck. I think it was this one. Yeah, it looked like this one though. It's decal though. I'm like, oh shit. So that made me, you know, like, all right. Well, at least this guy knows that the real image of Yahweh Shai is. Now he needs to know the name, and you know, well, he knows it, you know. But that made me content because the fact that at least this guy knows that the real image of Yahweh Shai is a so-called Negro. So that even made me happy. Like, yeah, it's good to see that though, you know.
Read it one more time.
1 Timothy 6:6. But guidelines with contentment is great gain.
Yeah, so godliness with contentment. Godliness with contentment is great gains. So, being godly, you know, that's what's going to support me. That's what's going to aid me. That's what's going to keep me safety. You know? So that's why we're teaching the correct way. So with that, you got anything else?
No.
So with that, we hope that's edifying. We want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bashim, Yahushai, Bashim, Kakudash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, the great millstone camps, for teaching us the truth of the Bible. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect scattered around the world. Shalom.
Shalom.